Good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. And yes, the most worst kept secret in football is coming to its final conclusion. Trent Alexander-Arnold set to sign for Real Madrid in the summer. And yeah, we're here to talk about obviously our reaction to the news. We'll be obviously speaking about what this means for Liverpool, obviously right back options and who's to potentially come in as well. And as you can see, I'm being joined by a very special guest, Kev. How you doing, my friend?
How's it going, Doug? How's it going, lads? Nice to be on again for the first time in a while.
It has, yes. I was just trying to think when you were last on, but it was a wee while ago.
It was a Premier League preview show, post preview show. I think I remember rightly.
That's right. Yes.
I got good predictions in your show, if I remember that rightly.
Yes, that's right. You beat me. I think you beat me by one point. I think it was.
No,
as well. So
I absolutely smashed you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I got a good week that week. I don't know what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say hello to a few people. I can see a few comments in here. Hello, G. Hope you're well. Go check out GTV Football channel, I should say. Hope you're well, my friend. We'll get you on the channel very soon. Hello to Elevator and Escalator Fan 6 as well. Right. Well, there was a little bit of big news today. Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini cleared by a Swiss court. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's obviously the news that Trent Alexander-Arnold is set to join Real Madrid at the end of the season. Basically broken by, Fabrizio Romano, first of all. It was about 12 hours ago. Trent Alexander-Arnold has given clear indications he wants to sign for Real Madrid, confirms Marca. Kev, I mean, I'll be honest, I've been kind of resigned to the fact that I have always had a feeling that Trent was going to go this summer. Have you felt the same?
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that, as a boyhood fan, he would stick around. But it was nice of him to come out himself and tell everybody before it got broken, right? Because, I mean, if Jurgen Klopp was leaving, nobody was saying that Jurgen Klopp was leaving. He told nobody, nothing happened, nothing got leaked. He just came out with an interview and said, I'm leaving. And that was very respectful to the club. Every fan applauded it and all that. But people have been on Trent's back since the start of the season. Like, since the very start of the season with all of these rumours with Real Madrid. And not once has he... Virgil spoke, Salah spoke that they want to stay, they want to do it. Not once did Trent come out and say he wanted to stay at the club. Not once did he even deny it. Not once did he even, And that for me was the beginning for the end when I started seeing that happening. And I have a lot more to say about the situation anyway, in a while.
Yeah, I've been kind of resigned to the fact all season. I think he was going to be going. Me, Connor, and Owen from Cop On, we did a keep sell loan program on I think it was Friday. It was, and we all said the same thing. If Trent wants to stay, he wants to stay. If he wants to go, he wants to go. Now, I think the way Salah and Van Dijk have been, reacting to the fact that obviously their deals haven't been signed yet. I think it's ridiculous that we're nearly in April and none of the three were signed. But I think what's really annoyed me is the fact, and I think Elevator said it there, that one interview when he said he'd rather win the Ballon d'Or over any team award just clearly shows where his head is at. I've had a feeling that this has been the case as well. And the most amazing thing as well, 2023, the end of 2023, he decided he wanted to leave Liverpool. It came out earlier today that he wanted to leave Liverpool at the end of 2023. So the fact is as well that, we've known this for about a year that Trent wanted to go to Real Madrid. Are you surprised we didn't cash in the summer?
Absolutely. Why keep him around? No offence, but Conor Bradley's a better right back. I don't care how good Trent is with his right foot going forward. Conor Bradley's a better right back. You put Conor Bradley, Joe Gomez is a better right back than Trent. In certain aspects, Trent intercepts well and he gets off the well. But I mean, how many balls over his head have led to goals against us? You know, if he goes to Real Madrid, Madrid fans won't stand for that. Like, the minute he's done like 4 or 5 games where it's his fault that the ball goes over the top or he loses concentration.
Yeah.
That's just going to be. It was body language alone for most of the season for me, Doug. It's body language for the last year or so as well. If he's saying that he wanted to leave since 2023, I'm surprised the club didn't cash in on him, or they just believe that he didn't really want to leave. He just wanted to up his money. But yes, if that's the case, why did he go and join Real Madrid for the exact same amount of money that he's on here?
Yeah, it's really, really strange. And I think when you look at it as well, it's the fact that he's openly said. I think he said in an interview that obviously he's a boyhood scouser, obviously boyhood club, etc. But there was an interview he did with, I think, I'm getting this completely mixed up. Alistair McGowan.
Okay.
And he said that he basically, Alistair McGowan actually asked him and said, I can see, do you see yourself being at Liverpool for your whole career? He basically said, well, I want to win things, and I want to win things and do as much as I can from a boyhood club. That interview is now resurfacing because of obviously what's been said today. So what's changed? Like,
what people have been in his ear, his own ego is getting ahead of himself. No offense to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but if he's leaving Liverpool to get to win a Ballon d'Or, he's not winning a Ballon d'Or at all over some of the talent that's out there. There's no way a right back is winning a Ballon d'Or. Like Cannavaro, I think, was the last defender that won a Ballon d'Or back in the day, and there's no way that a right back is winning it unless he's stop and goal line clearances weekly, winning every single cup competition, and highest in assists, but assists at a point where it's as good as the goal scorer in his team scoring. That kind of there's so many factors brought into it. Plus the fact is there's a good 200 players out there that are better than him right now. He's got a fantastic. He's got one of the best right foots on the planet, but there's better footballers out there. I guarantee you this. In hindsight, he'll get the same soup that Michael Owen found out, that McManaman kind of found out. Excuse me, that Philip Coutinho definitely found out. I think it's going to go down that road for him, because I think that the Madrid fans won't have the patience for him, because he's not a local boy. He's not a born. He's just he's an import to them. He's an asset to them. You sit there with him. Look at Gareth Bale. He had some good times at Real Madrid, but the majority of the time he was on the bench. When he was sitting there in a Real Madrid shirt. The only person that kind of came from England and really, really took over Real Madrid, like undoubtedly, is Luka Modric. He's been just their core player from an English football club that went over there throughout. McManaman had some kind of good spells. Suarez was brilliant for Barcelona in ways, but not in Real Madrid. When you're thinking, like, there's certain players, like when Philip Coutinho went to Barcelona, the same thing would happen to Trent, I think, in this aspect. I just, unless they're going to move him into the midfield, and unless he's going to get that chance there, I think it's too late for him to do it. I think he's forgotten how to be an all-round midfielder. They won't have the patience for it. And as a right back, if he's going to bomb up the wing and cross balls, great. But if there's any way a team that's quick on the counter attack, he's going to be like completely open the whole time. And it happens to him against teams like Southampton in the league, and it happens to him against poor Manchester United sides and stuff like that in Liverpool. The only reason that's our saving grace is that we have Ibu tucked in there, we have Szoboszlai tucked in there, we have Gravenberch tucked in there when we need to, and they cover his arse. And when Ibu's not playing, Trent Alexander-Arnold has a nightmare. And the thing is, Ibu picks up a lot of his injuries covering Trent, if you didn't notice, because he has to get back to the positions. So there's a lot of factors going on there. Will I miss him as a right back? No. Will I miss him as a creative talent? Yes.
Yeah. No, I think if I look back on his whole career at Liverpool, and look, I'm no Scouser. I think it would have been nice to have had a Scouser on, because I think everyone is probably, I'm not one of these people that burns shirts or really, really. I know emotions are running high today. I can get that. Obviously we'll praise him for what he's done for the football club. He's won everything that you could possibly get. Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, European Super Cup.
Besides the one game, Doug. Besides the one game, did he besides that corner taking quickly moment? Did he win much for us on his own doing these things? It's really been a team effort, and he's been part of that team. Whereas you had other players like Steven Gerrard that would lift the team, and you had other players like in their teams like Robin Van Persie at the time at Arsenal, Wayne Rooney at his time at Manchester United, Ronaldo when he was there at United, multiple teams like that. But I think Trent sees himself in the same ilk, that he's a necessity for any team that he's in, which he is for his right foot, but not at the cost of the team. So if you're saying that he's coming to his peak of his career, and he's deciding to leave his boyhood club where he's loved and adored, to go on for, he's saying a shot at a Ballon d'Or. Like, no offense, but we wiped the floor with Real Madrid this year. There's no player in Real Madrid that's getting anywhere near the Ballon d'Or this year. Or in the next couple of years. And although they've kind of been putting together an okay team, it's still a time bomb waiting to happen, because you got Mbappe in there, you got Bellingham in there, who's now starting to have a bit of an attitude, and other big egos inside in that team, and it's kind of going to look like a bit of a PSG 2.0 in the next couple of seasons if they keep putting these we'll see how it turns out. But I think it's a stupid mistake for Trent to leave. I really do.
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we will speak more on this very, very shortly. Hello, Stephen. A little bit pissed off. I think it's the safest thing to say. But apart from that, I'm absolutely good, mate. Hope you're well as well. Hey there, Douglas and Kev. Hope all is good. You could say that, Des. Could be better. That one. Oh, I've read that comment. Sorry, Olivia. I've read that as well. Hello, Spencer. Nice to see you in the chat. Long time no see, my friend. Hope you are well as well. Let's be real. Trent is not winning the Ballon d'Or at Madrid. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think as well. Would you say he's tarnished his legacy a little bit?
Massively.
Because I think when you look at what Van Dijk and Salah have done, they've gone about it the right way. They've come out and done interviews and said, well, whatever will happen. Will happen. Salah's constantly said it. Van Dijk's constantly said it. But what I think you've seen with Trent is that he's literally hidden in the clouds, hidden behind the scenes. Doesn't want to do interviews. When was the last interview you did? I can't remember a single interview. I think he's done this. Yeah, I can't remember a single interview he's done this well. And the other thing that really, really annoys me, I don't think he's been the player that he has been for a number of years. I think
that's on purpose, Doug.
You think that's been on purpose?
I think in the last year, this whole season, it's been on purpose. He's not running back. He's not been tracking back. He's been jogging back, looking after his health, looking after his fitness, the whole lot. Looking after Trent, and he hasn't been. He's got slated a few times from Liverpool fans this season, like a lot, for and then a couple of times he stepped. There was a wonderful ball that he played through to Salah. I remember, I think against the Southampton game or Brentford, I think. These kind of moments that kind of show that he can shine, how he shines in the Liverpool shirt. Some of the passes that he made. A couple of passes, his phenomenal long bending passes along the floor are some of his trademarks, But at the end of the day, I don't care how long he's been at the club. That's not my issue. I support Liverpool Football Club. I'm not going to well wish somebody leaving the club to go to a European rival and then just say, oh yeah, thanks for the memories, whatever like that, but you're leaving at your peak. Why not go there? It's a Spanish league. You could go there like Luis Suarez, when you can go there at just coming up to the 30 mark, or after your 30s, after do 3 years with us, then get sold to Real Madrid. Do another 3 years. What is he coming on to 28 now? 28 years of age. So let's do the 3 years, get to 31, if you're still looking after yourself like everybody else does these days, you're still in peak form. It's gone are the days when you pass the age of 30. Are you done? Like, you know, people look after themselves these days, so they can play right up until their late 30s. So, you know, just Ronaldo, Milner, Salah is what to show you. So.
Yeah, I think the real thing that's really annoyed me is the fact that he's going for free. We're not getting any money for him.
Without even saying anything.
But yeah, exactly. And I think as well, you know, we've seen players come and go. We've seen, you know, Torres broke my heart in 2009, 2010 when he decided he wanted to leave and go to Chelsea. You know, obviously Michael Owen earlier in sort of 2000, 2003 went to Real Madrid. Steve McManaman famously went to Real Madrid. You know, as well. And I think the thing is, what we're saying here, nobody's bigger than the club. It's all about who wears that famous shirt. It's not the name on the back. It's always about the badge at the front. And I've got to say that I look at this and it's just really, really sad that, you know, the way Van Dijk and Salah have acted as real, you know, they're really, really committed. I honestly think they will both stay.
Yeah.
I think now that the Trent news has came out, I think we'll probably see both of them signing on.
Yeah, I have a theory on that as well.
You got a theory?
I've got a theory. It's just that if you look at the past history of Liverpool re-signing Salah and doing that, so they waited until like the 9th or the 11th hour to re-sign Salah the last time, due to the fact that they didn't know whether they were going to sell Sadio Mane or whether Mane wanted to leave. And I think Mane wanted the same money as Salah after being super important but not scoring as many goals as Salah, and he wasn't getting it. So then he was saying he wanted to go to Germany. So they were waiting to free up the Sadio Mane deal to give Salah his bumper deal. And I think this time around, I think the lads have unselfishly protected Trent by not signing the deal and putting all the pressure on him. But there could be something in the pipeline. Now the lads are saying they haven't heard anything yet. So in that way, the club are saying we'll take the blame at the moment for this until such time as, you know, we announce that Trent is going to leave, or the word gets out that Trent's going to leave, and then we'll pick everybody up by saying, you know, the Verge and Salah are signed, or at least Salah. You know, I know Verge is going to go somewhere. I know his representatives are talking to one or two people, but still, I think that's just to kind of hurry up the process. Really, I don't think they want to go anywhere. Virgil's just become captain of Liverpool. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I think he's got at least 3 good years left in him. I think Salah's got 3 or 4 good years left in him with how he looks after himself. Whether he's still the same old dribbling type Salah, I don't know. I would kind of agree with the club in a way that you give him 2 + 1 years and do it that way. But I think the theory is when you go down. Remember, Salah said Salah resigns and he's out in the middle of the ocean in an apartment, and it was in the summer because the season was over. It was before he was, you know. Somebody tried to tell me different in a chat before, and I was like, no, this is the middle of, like, Salah was in the middle of the ocean, you know, in like an apartment when he did the whole Salah resigns thing, you know, the same as he did Salah announced, remember that? And at the very first signed, so he did that thing again, but it was straight after Sadio Mane left, and was you know, going to Bayern. So if the same thing happens again, it happens again. Look, lads, at the end of the day, whether we lose Verge, Trent and Salah, we're going to improve in the right back position. We're going to lose out on the passing ability of Trent. We're going to lose out on the experience of Virgil van Dijk, but we're going to get younger, faster animals in there. And I would think at a top tier quality. And Salah, I think we'll go after 2 people for the same position, and then just at least have competition there with Chiesa and somebody else maybe on the right hand side going forward, which is good. I mean, we got Chiesa as a steal for 10 million, but I regardless of that, I think the club will be perfectly fine if they do leave. I don't think it's a big disaster thing that everybody's thinking about, or the lads serve their purpose. I mean, these boys being in the club, even though Salah's been phenomenal with numbers, we haven't won the league in 5 years since then. So we need a bit more competition in there. We need a bit more balance in there, and I think it's going to be a massive window for us this summer. I think we're going to spend bigger than you've ever seen us spend. And I never say that about transfers because I hate them.
Yeah, I know. I'm exactly the same when it comes to transfers. I don't want to.
I would keep
even
on.
look at them. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen says, I'm doing good, mate. Hope you're, yes, good to see you in here. Absolutely has, just obviously about Trent tarnishing his legacy. Hello, Napoon as well. Big up to you as well. Trent went from potentially following the steps of Steven Gerrard, but now he's following the steps of Michael Owen and Steve McManaman. Yeah.
He's going to be unwelcome, man. I'm telling you now, a lot of the staunch and Liverpool fans and Liverpool supporters, a lot of people out there will say, oh, well done, lad, you've had your head. No, he hasn't. Liverpool have a lot more stuff to win. And we needed our best creative players and our best things to stick with the team and go. It's not like he's 34, he's had a great career at Liverpool. Yeah, we can see him way like Steven Gerrard did and all of that. No, he's 28. He's at his prime. He's at his prime now, and like we were saying, the potential of Trent to come up. Oh, he's done all of this at a young age. He's doing all of this with Liverpool. Imagine what happens when he hits his prime at Liverpool with us and all that. And now he's decided to just, bugger off. If he's done it, and for that, for free, without saying anything to the fans, and then you go back throughout the season where he's doing these gestures to everybody in the stadium, and
yes,
that to us?
West Ham.
Yeah, was that to us or was it the West Ham fans? Was it who was it to? You're not saying anything, and the thing, but you're making all these gestures and these shush emojis and whatever you want. It's nuts. Like, I'm just saying, have a bit more respect for the fan base. Whatever, if there's something going on with the club or whatever, have a bit more respect for the fan base and let them know what you're thinking. I don't want to hear this thing where it's a Raheem Sterling post-leaving interview. I don't want to hear a load of bollocks from that.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. So,
Zane says, here's the thing though, Douglas. If Trent said he wanted to leave, he should have said it earlier, but there was an option to sell him in January. Yeah, exactly. But I think it was because we were low in numbers, possibly. Remember when Klopp said, continue before he left, stay, and they will build a statue outside Anfield, leave, and you'll just be another player?
He's right.
He is absolutely spot on. He's absolutely spot on.
He probably texted Trent and said, he probably said the same thing to him.
Exactly.
If Van Dijk left, Doug, Trent was captain. He was getting his dream to captain Liverpool. That's what was going to happen. Trent is, 4 or 5 years junior of Van Dijk? Yeah. He's guaranteed to be captain of Liverpool for 5 or 6 seasons if he stays around. Easily in a legacy time. So I don't see the logic in it. I hope your man Bellingham hasn't been in his ear, because he's not one to really listen to either, because he hasn't set the world ablaze over in Madrid regardless of his talent. Did you see
the was it the Euros last summer? The bromance between Trent and Jude. I thought that was really cringeworthy, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's all false. It's there, but
now
we
want
the world to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, now we know why.
I just think if Real Madrid wanted right backs, so the best attacking right back in the world was Trent for a period of time. When his attacking game was gone, along with Robbo's, because Robbo was the same. When they were hindered to spend most of the time drifting just above the attack and maybe get involved going forward, that's when they became kind of surplus, really, to how Liverpool played. And, in ways only for Trent's ability to make some great passes. I didn't see his net worth in the side. I thought Conor Bradley's performance as a right back were much better, and I thought we were much more solid in that way. There was only a few weeks back, I think Trent made one really good performance where he was intercepting everything, and then I forget which game it was, but it was but he was everywhere and he looked well and the whole lot, and maybe that's because he'd made his mind up and he just wanted to enjoy his football. But then what about the rest of the few months? We're lucky we're in the position we are for the amount of times that lad only walked back to his right back position. After being bypassed, didn't track back, didn't tackle back. It's nuts. Like, I'm not trying to slate the guy. I'm all for what he's there for, but I've always said this about Trent, and any show that I've been on, I'm just like, Conor Bradley's the better right back. Trent Alexander is the better creator from that position.
And then about 8 hours ago, Real Madrid said it again. Real Madrid and Arnold deal now at final stages. Real Madrid started monitoring Trent's situation 1 year ago. As called in March 2024, he's been the top target. The official contract proposal from Real has been sent to Trent and his camp, all proceeding. Discussions underway on details of the deal, with all parties involved confident to get the agreement done. Matter of time before it's signed, and here we go. it just feels like this is all escalated in a matter of weeks, a matter of months. As I was trying to believe, is also just taking the situation so cowardly by not speaking out, which potentially ruined a historic season for us. Yeah, we played Real Madrid back at Anfield, and I know that Real Madrid are obviously going further than us, but in that game, I think we saw Conor Bradley's challenge on Mbappe. You imagine that next season, if we get Real Madrid, he's going to get clattered by McAllister.
Oh yeah,
he's going to get clattered by Gravenberch. He'll probably get clattered by Conor Bradley. I think the safest thing to say as well. You look at Real Madrid, their fan base is one of the reasons why people fail there. They are the most spoilt fan base in world football.
Yeah.
The fans own the club. It's pretty. If he has a bad performance over there,
they'll kill him.
Then I can guarantee you, the media will be on him. Spanish media don't be surprised if the Spanish media just go, "Oh, look at this guy from Liverpool." And then everyone will be saying, "Oh, we all told," like rival fans will be on, "Oh, we all told you about Trent," but no one was believing things. The fan base is very, very spoiled, and as well as that, the fans just get on top of you. They go on top of Bale. Yep. They hounded Bale out of the club. So I just hope he knows what he's going to be doing. He's obviously got Danny Carvajal there as potential backup, but then again, there is reports that Carvajal might be leaving. So obviously they have to replace him. But
we'll take him.
We'll
take him as an experience. Yeah, I'd bring him over as an experience. If you want somebody perfect coming in with Conor Bradley on that right hand side, you want somebody experienced. You don't want somebody to come in and just like replace all of what Conor Bradley's done. You want to give Conor Bradley the opportunity to be the right back at Liverpool. Let's call it a spade a spade. It's not a position that I want to see filled outside of Conor Bradley. I want to see it backed up well. And who better than somebody as experienced as Carvajal to come the other way? And free transfer deal, yeah. And he'd be an amazing fella to learn from for Bradley to come in. But like, or that type of ilk of player, I would take. I have no problem with that because we have Conor Bradley. We have potentially probably Owen Beck to come back from. Was he left back? Right back.
Yeah. Blackburn. We've obviously got young Ramsey as well from Kilmarnock. He's going to be coming back. But again, I'm kind of to and froing. Like, we will obviously speak about right back options because I think the safest thing to say is that we will obviously speak about the sort of the right back situation in a little bit as well. Elevator says he could have said in December, "I want to leave," and then when the offer comes in January in Madrid, we take a cash and play Conor Bradley right back. Yep. He's better right back in Trent. We go, 100%. And I think as well. Sorry, I'll just press that comment again. I think the other thing is there's no time frame when he comes back now. With us potentially being 5 wins away from the Premier League title, we might basically have it sealed before he comes back from injury. But I'm going to say this: I don't think he's guaranteed a starting place anymore. No. Considering now he's basically all this news has come out, I don't think he's guaranteed a starting place, and I don't think he really should be.
No,
in the starting 11.
And I don't think Slan's the type of manager that would wait around either. He'll say, I want my right back in place for next season.
And I also think as well, the fact he's injured as well, I think he's going to be probably when he comes back, he'll probably be benched. But there is a feeling amongst a lot of people that I've been read like obviously X is a cesspit right now, so obviously avoid X. But I was speaking to a friend of mine who's been a big Liverpool fan for a number of years. He actually thinks Trent has played his last game for Liverpool. I
actually agree with him.
I think he has.
I think whether he wanted it to come out now, I don't know. Whether it was leaked up but nobody, like, Fabrizio Romano releases these things not in shock and awe. It's because he's given that exclusivity by the parties involved a lot of the time. So you got to think if he's the one that's releasing it, then it had to have been given to him. It wouldn't have been leaked, or it had to have been given to him, and all parties having knowledge of what was going on. So if they're going to do this now, it's because Trent thinks he's not going to play football for Liverpool again, and you won't have to deal with the fans. But
I think so. I think so,
guys. I think it'd be disgraceful as well if we're leaving and somebody gives him a standing ovation, goodbye or whatever like that for the way he's leaving. People wouldn't have minded if we got like 60 to 100 million for Trent for leaving for Real Madrid, and the club benefited from it, and we got Conor Bradley in there, and then a good covered right back. But it's not. He said not. This is the whole point. He said nothing. He's been below par. He's not fought by getting back into position at all season. Like I'm telling you, if 1 or 2 games he got back, it was maybe like non-existent for most of the big rival games this season, bar the early Manchester United game that we played at Old Trafford. But outside of that, just does not run back. Just watching in case he falls or watching in case he does the ankle. Just he was looking after himself and doing that, and he did all of these little steps. I know, kind of releasing it this way. It smells of Coutinho with the back issue leaving. Is what it does.
Yeah, I think there's more to this injury than we're led to believe. Look, it was a really bad injury you go against PSG, but I think you look at what he's done over this season, and I think he has been below par. I mean, I'm just looking at his stats for this season. In fact, he's played 39 appearances this season, 3 goals. Now his, he is a right back. Obviously, he is an attacking right back. Best season, really, I would say was probably 2019, 2020, 18, 19, because him and Robo were in a competition 14s, So, but this season, I think he's been very, very below par. And as well as that, I think when you look at like when Conor Bradley comes in, he's been very, very good. I know he has had bad games. I think the one thing we can say here is definitely that Trent is a player who has good games, has bad games. For Madrid, you have to be right at it. And I can guarantee you now he will be right back. I cannot see him playing that hybrid midfield role that he played for us. It's definitely going to be right back as well. Let's have a look at some of your comments because I have missed the chat. So apologies. Look at Modric, 40 years old and still playing in elite level. Absolutely, he is just something else. Luka Modric is a world class man. Yep, absolutely. Was it West Ham? I was trying to remember who he scored against when he made. Yeah, it was. I never got it somehow. When he scored that, a lot was made about that celebration, but not his actual goal, to say the very least. Fan base needs to have some respect for Trent. FSG would never have sold in January. Trent owes the club and the fans nothing. He's already delivered everything.
I don't think any of us. We didn't say he was supposed to be sold in January. I just think if they knew about this in 2023, if you were here earlier, French, you would have seen it. We were talking because Trent has been saying he's been leaving. He's wanting to leave since 2023. If that's the case, get the money from him earlier. Let him leave before the season even started, or ask him to sign a bumper deal and then sell him in the summer. You could send it in 2023. You could have signed a bumper deal and you could have left this summer making money for Liverpool. That's the point we're making. Nobody's on about selling in January or buying in January. That was impossible to do in the middle of a season where we're going for the title. So that's none of us have said that here. Anyway, me or Doug.
Not mentioned Douglas. If Trent puts in the same stinkers in Madrid, he'll get booed like crazy, and I believe he could then become a bench warmer. Yeah, that's what we're saying. That is what we're saying. I think if he said he was leaving, I think he would have been sold. FSG wouldn't have let him go for nothing. Yep, absolutely. No, you're 100% wrong. Who knows? Owen Beck, young talents may be used. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Imagine next season Salah Diaz running at Trent.
I think Diaz will be there.
I'm not so sure about Diaz.
Yeah, I think he'll be
sure about Diaz. Hello, Red Devil United. Rich, hope you're well, mate. I know you've been ill a little bit. But please go check out Red Devil United, doing some good stuff over there. I know he supports Manchester United, but can't all be success. Sup. Hey Red Devil. Everyone's speaking to everyone was speaking. I was hoping Madrid would take the low. Shame. Yeah, I know. Bale had a terrible career at Real. Yeah, barring that one season where he had obviously scored 2 against us in the Champions League final, and you've got to say one of the goals of that game was the overhead kick. There's nothing you can do about that.
He had a good first season as well, didn't he? When he was like bypassing fellas, running up the line, outside the line, and back in, and scoring like brilliant goals, but then he just dropped off a cliff, really.
Yeah, AKMLFC, hello. I don't know if that is Adam or Shono. I hope you are both well. I don't think Trent wanted this out now at all. And Adam says, I don't. If it's Adam or Sean, I don't think he'll play again either. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Trent will still get a winner's medal? Yeah, I think
he gets a winner's medal. Yeah,
he will get a winner's medal.
I don't know about a farewell. I don't know if that's too risky to take. Not in the manner that he's leaving.
Yeah, I don't know. Hello, Everest as well. I personally don't have any disdain towards this decision, since I already sense that due to our non-proactive owners, now it's up to the scouts to find us our new right back who either match or surpass him. Yeah, let's talk about
I need to get in on this with the FSG straight away. So, FSG were kind of the ones that are non-proactive for the last 2 seasons, and they kind of put up the money when we need to put up the money. But in saying that, Michael Edwards is now the guy that's running the show. Like, the only reason they tried to offer me 8 contracts last, the only reason that he came back is that if they stepped aside and let him run everything. So everything now is pointing the finger at Michael Edwards. You might say, okay, but the owners on the books is FSG, but no, to his contract, he can sign as many players as he wants. He can do whatever. It's only if he goes over a certain budget, he has to then has the responsibility of making that budget back up, and FSG has to trust him with all of that. So he doesn't really have to ask him to do anything. He doesn't need a permission to do anything. It's all down to Edwards. It's all down to Hughes doing the signings, and it's down to the lad that came back. I forget his name. The lad that came back that took over Edwards' position for a while. But then it was too much for him, so then he I say his name every day and I'm after forgetting it now.
Jörg Schmatka.
No, not Schmatka. It's what's his name? The lad that took over Edwards' role for a little bit.
Julian Ward.
There you go. So he came back, and he's now under Edwards helping him. Thanks for that. And so the buck stops with Edwards, lads. So if and I trust Edwards because I trust the signings that he makes, because he's the first person to come out to say when he came back, like, he didn't care who was still in the team at the time. He was the first person to turn around and just say, I didn't like the signings, or the majority of the signings that were made when in my absence. So he's talking about Darwin Núñez. He's talking about Luis Diaz. He's talking about he said he didn't quite enjoy Cody Gakpo's obviously signing, but the rest of them he wasn't too keen on signings at all that were brought in. For that Wataru Endo, he didn't rate any of these signings. He said these are Jurgen Klopp boys, and you have to then kind of see, okay, maybe Jurgen Klopp wasn't the greatest at buying players, but Edwards is the one that kind of got. He's the one that got Salah over the line. He's the one that got all of these guys over the line. So you have to kind of trust him really for what he's done for the team that we have now. Now, regardless of the owners being involved any more than that, they're going off the pastures new. They're buying new franchises and doing whatever they need to do. So the buck stops at Edwards. Obviously, everybody that's not in the know are just going to start screaming FSG this, FSG that, but it's not. It's Edwards, and he should be held accountable first. And if he doesn't do his job, then FSG have to step in and get somebody who does, which I think he will do his job, because he's been phenomenal for us scouting wise, and doing all the data and the numbers. So, and even Jim Ratcliffe came out this week and kind of said, we've been run by a genius. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Madrid fans do come from the players after matches. Brutality, yes, does, absolutely. He wanted to go in January, that's why they bid for him in January. Yeah, absolutely. But I think again, I don't think he would have went anyway, because I think we were still low numbers, as I was saying. People saying we would have sold him in January are literally just dreaming. The idea that he shouldn't be treated badly because he's leaving early in the season is low IQ.
Trent is a disgrace, ain't no legend of my club. Hello, Ryan, hope you're well. I wish he missed that penalty against Switzerland. At least for Coutinho, we got a lot of money for. We got a lot of money for Trent, and we got nothing. Yeah, that's true. We should be thanking him and wishing him luck. Look, what I will say now is, I do wish him well, but I think you've got to be annoyed at the fact that this is.
See, he's saying that I have some sort of Arsenal fan mentality. What? What are you blowing on about, kid? Hang on a second. You didn't read the rest of that, Doug. We should be thanking him and wishing him luck. Why should we thank him? He's leaving in his prime. We developed him. We're about to go into the next era of our football squad with a Scouser that was going to be captain after Virgil van Dijk left. And you're saying we should be thanking him and patting him on the back going off to Real Madrid for absolutely nothing. And you're saying that's an Arsenal fan base. No, that's a Liverpool fan base mentality. What the hell is he on about? What the hell is what are you on about, man? Like, I don't. You want to come on and debate with me there, man, about that? I'll give you reasons why, 100 reasons why. I don't know about behind club or closed doors, yeah, is one thing. But I do a lot of data work on the club. Like, I look at all the financials, I look at everything. I can tell you everything about what's going on inside the club financially, right? I can't tell you what's going on inside the player's mind, but I can tell you by his actions on the pitch and how he handles himself, and how then he says nothing is a way that he's being disrespectful to the club that gave him everything. And then he expects, because he was part of it, that we should shut up and put up and shut up.
Finally, we as a fan base can stop pretending that Trent can defend.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's not a good right back. He's a good right attacking fullback.
I feel like we're focusing the anger on the wrong party here. FSG must be held accountable for running down the contract period like this.
Yeah, look, just on that, who is to blame here? Is it FSG? Is it the previous sporting directors? Who, is it Trent himself, or is it all of the above? Because I think all three are accountable for at least half of it, I would say.
Well, I wouldn't say all accountable. I think FSG can offer him what they can offer him. Trent was looking for the same money as Salah. So there's no right back on the planet that's going to be getting the same money as your main goal scorer. Like, that's like saying, that John Stones, because he's been brilliant for City most of the season, should be asking for the same money as Erling Haaland. It's just not going to happen. And Trent is deluded if he thinks that was going to happen ever. No, I know he's leaving Liverpool for this exact same money that he's on with Liverpool right now, that he was going to get an increase on to go to Real Madrid, because he said he wants to win a Ballon d'Or. That's his reasoning.
There was even rumours that apparently we had offered them potentially 320 grand a week. Now, if that's the case, he would have been the highest paid English player in the Premier League. So
that would have been with assists. He probably would have been on a casual 270 a week, which is perfectly fine for somebody who's a vice captain and been at the club a long time. But he wasn't going to be on 350 a week like Salah. No way.
No, absolutely not. Guys, we're 43 minutes in. If you have enjoyed this stream so far, please do hit the like button. Please do hit that subscribe button as well. Really good turnout tonight, so I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Madrid have 6 big games in the domestic season in Spain. He will be fine.
We say that, Bale wasn't fine. None of them were fine when they went to Spain. He'll get eaten alive in Spain. Absolutely eaten alive.
I wouldn't say he had a terrible career at Real. I would say he was more average. Reece James is clear. Did anyone see Reece James' free kick last night? Wow, what a finish. What a finish. Don't mean to be spamming, I'm just reacting to what you guys are saying. No hard feelings. It's all just, look, everyone's learning an opinion.
Absolutely, but if anybody knows, lads, if you haven't seen me before and you haven't watched my channel, I never, ever, ever use my own opinion. So that's if anybody's ever watched me ever, it's like my freaking slogan to go to. It's I only use stats and facts in what I say. So if I say anything here, it's only what I've read directly from the club. It'll never be my opinion. Everything that I say or anything like that. My opinion now that I am delving into now is what I think is going to happen. If somebody asks me what I think is going to happen, that's an opinion. So what I think is going to happen in Real Madrid, I don't think he's going to hit the heights, to be honest with you.
Does says I think Woodgate had a bad season at Madrid and Bale. Yep. You think James would move? I would probably break the bank. Imagine if James moved from Chelsea. That would be
quite interested. Andrew Quinn, hello mate. Hello Douglas, hope you're well. I would take Frimpong at Liverpool. I wouldn't. I will tell you. I'll tell you this now. As transfer replacement, imagine this: so Alisson, Frimpong, Ibu, Verge, Kirkage, Maka, Grab, Sobo, Salas, Isak, and Nico Williams. First things first. Frimpong is not a right back. Frimpong is a right wing back, right winger. I don't think he is any bit as good a defender as well. But look, he's obviously been at Man City, he's been at Celtic, he's obviously been at Leverkusen as well. Simon Short, can I have a shout out? There's your shout out. Thanks for clarifying, Kev. I do think that we didn't have enough funding by the owners to be hopeful in our seasons. Either even when Klopp had been running the gaff.
Look, we're self-sustaining. We're not a club that, you see, it's either we spend a lot of money to appease the fans that just want us to buy players, and turn into like a FIFA club, like your Cities and your Chelseas and your Manchester United, who spend a lot of money but then don't see any talent from it, or we're a club that sells to buy, which is an actually really good way to run a club, because it's self-sustaining. You can develop youth to bring them up from within, especially if you've invested all that money into the youth centre and into the AXA training ground, and then that's where the balance comes. So yeah, people don't get their their endorphins because we're not making these big signings like some other clubs are every season, but like we are battling for the league almost every season, and we are, we're up there. If we spent a little bit extra more, yeah, but that's really down to who's available. We tried to spend 105 million on Caicedo, and he turned us down. So there's nothing you can do. We spent the money on Zubimendi. He said yes, and then he turned around and said no. So I mean, that's not down to the owners. That's down to the players themselves. And Trent leaving at the moment, he's been offered the big money, and he's saying no, he wants to go. So I mean, I can't blame the club for that. I have to blame the players that said no and decided to move on.
That would be a dream, but I don't see FSG signing 4 players, sadly. It's really because of how cheap they are. Good evening, Owen. Hope you're well. Go and check out Cop On podcast. Obviously, Owen was on with myself and Connor from the Cup Council on Friday. I hope Trent makes a crucial mistake in the Champions League final for Madrid and loses in the game. That would be hilarious. Honestly, Ryan, I wish he was knocked out in the Euros with Slovakia, not because of him, just because it would be funny seeing England lose to a team like Slovakia. Absolutely. As a fan base for years, we defended and protected Trent from all he can't defend criticism from the media and rival fans, and defended him when he wasn't getting played for England. F him. Bloody hell.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen now. Now he's going to feel the full force of what a fan base are like when they can see that a fella can't defend.
He's just a man changing employers, Kev.
I don't see it like that, man. I see a potential captain for Liverpool and a Scouser, and leaving for free, exactly the same as what McManaman was, and what Owen was in Cheshire, I know, and McManaman was a blue.
I blame Trent way more for this than FSG and the club. He always wanted to go, if either Salah or VVD left, then that's on the club. Yeah, 100%. Finch has gone out. Trent, Salah, Diaz, Tsimikas, and Robinson, Cunha, Eze, and Frimpong. Interesting.
Cunha. Robinson is too old.
Yeah, Robinson's about 29, I think.
29 is too old to be brought in. Yeah. I'm
convinced FSG just didn't want to give him a good offer because they were the cheapest owners of all time. Oliveira, I agree. 94% of stats are wrong 69% of the time.
Well, that's just an anchorman pun, as they say.
Trent has been a great creative player for us. We can replace him with a stronger defender, but replacing his creativity with 100% Owen, 100%. Guys, I know there's loads of comments to get through. I will get to them, I promise you. Before we do end the show, I will get to all your comments. I really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in this evening as well. Van der Ven of VVD leaves.
Bit injury prone, doesn't he?
A bit injury prone, yeah.
Great player, but a bit injury prone. We just have another kind of Ibu on either side, and then if 2 of them will never be available, it'll be a disaster.
Ryan agrees with me. Frimpong isn't the one. He's a worse defender than Trent. Honestly, I think he's more of a right wing or a right wing back. I think both Salah and Verge stay. Salah said a couple of months ago, I can't imagine myself playing against Liverpool, and Van Dijk said he loves the club. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Who would you guys take though as a Trent replacement?
Conor Bradley. He's already there.
Yeah.
He's already there. We already have him. We just need somebody to back up. I said a little bit earlier when you were saying, if you were in the chat, that all right, so Trent has gone to Real Madrid. If Carvajal leaves, why not bring him over? Experienced right back and come in and back up, just like Wataru under Gravenberch, just like James Milner under everybody when he was playing at the club. Why not bring in a Carvajal? Get a cheap sign in, you know.
Finch is saying drop a link to your stuff.
You'll find me. To my stuff, you'll mostly find me on Anfield Road TV with Jack. All my stuff will be on that. I just do live watch along, so when I do my live stuff doesn't stay up after it's live unless it's on YouTube. You might find it there, but that's on Spider.
I think I may have put Kev's channel in the description. Let me just double check actually. Let me just double check. I don't think I have. But no, I haven't actually. So after the stream, I will put Kev's link in the channel for people to go over and check out. I'm not even talking about big signs, to be honest. We haven't been buying hidden gems like Manny and Robo for a while. We've been sustaining, but the additional help is almost.
It's down to Edwards not being there. He's back now, so we're going to start seeing that again.
I thought Robinson was 27. My bad. Yeah, I think he's 29. I think this year.
I'd have Kirkers over him.
Sounds like something Yogi Berra would say. 94% stats are wrong 69% of the time. Vanderson from Monaco says, Owen, to be honest, I haven't seen Vanderson, but that seems to be interesting. No thanks to Van de Ven, he is always hurt. Yeah, he is, unfortunately. It's almost 3 a.m. here, so I'll head off to sleep. Hopefully we'll overcome this turmoil soon. Up the rest. Thank you, Everest.
I'd have a look at Huyson from Bournemouth because he can be developed. Yeah, really well. You could probably get him and go all out for a Bastoni who can also play a left back if we needed to.
Andrew Jed Spence plays mostly left back for Spurs. They've also got Pedro Porro on the right hand side. I've seen people been thinking that Pedro Porro might be an interesting.
No, actually, I like to look at the Jed Spence because of just how well he played for Spurs this season, even though they've been terrible. He actually did really, really well.
Yeah, you guys think Konza's ready to start content? Right. Okay. Well, as I said, we will get back to your comments, so please continue getting them in. It's really, really good to see everyone who's tuned in this evening, so thank you very much. Right back options next season. Right. So Connor Bradley is definitely going to be starting right back, I think is the safest thing to say. Obviously, if he is fit as well. Jarell Quansah, Joe Gomez, can you see both of them potentially being right back cover next season?
I think we'd be very, very lucky to see either of those in a Liverpool shirt next season. And I'll tell you why. Because Arne Slot, if you're going by his past history, when you're going by before, he was at Feyenoord, he comes in for the first season, he improves the team. He doesn't change the system too much, but he adds in these ideas of how to defend in spaces, how to open up in spaces, counter-attacking really, really quickly, but build up play less than what Klopp would do. And then, even though there were household names with people having their shirt names across their backs like for years and years, he came in, he axed them, like all of them, and signed 17 players for Feyenoord, then went on to win the league and the cup. And that's how he will only keep people around that suit his system. And for the fact that he's after kind of yanking Quansah off a few times this season, whether he sees the potential in him, can he wait around? For that, I don't know. But going by past history and his ruthlessness, and I know it's his first season, but his ability to have this ruthlessness going into the future, with the younger players, I could count them on two fingers. If I had an idea, you'd be very lucky to see Diaz, Nunez, even Salah at the club next season, right? We should be keeping Salah, by the way, just for an extra couple of seasons, just for the type of player he is anyway. You'll be lucky to see Harvey Elliott at the club. He likes Wataru Endo, but whether he just keeps him like a James Milner, where he can play left back, just as a backup player on the bench, he might keep him. But he likes his attitude, he likes how he works. But he is 32 years of age coming up, when he joined us at 30 or something like that. So, and then you'd be very lucky to see Quansah, Gomez. Yaros is already leaving; it's his last year of his contract. Queven Kelleher is looking for his He's not going to stay around. We don't know whether Alisson wants to go home, but Alisson's kind of come out and said, I'm looking forward to having the battle with Mamadashvili next season. So, and just because, if you don't realise as well, lads, up until only just this season, Caoimhín Kelleher had played more games than Alisson Becker in the last 2 seasons for Liverpool. And that's not that when you think of it. He played more games up until just like February or something. Caoimhín Kelleher, February, Caoimhín Kelleher had played more games than Alisson Becker for Liverpool for over a 2-season period. So he's as much as an importance to us as Ali has been for the last 2 seasons. And, you know, he's won us more cups being in goal than Ali has in the last couple of seasons. So there's a lot going on there, but I just think there's a lot of action going to be happening, and a lot more than you think. And it could be a massive change in the squad this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your thoughts down in the comments. Let us know your right back potential to replace Trent, and obviously let us know about Joe Gomez and Gerald Konza, because I remember speaking on that show that I did on Friday that I think Konza maybe a loan deal. I wouldn't be too surprised if Gomez gets sold, unfortunately, for the injuries. To be fair, though, Van de Ven plays for a team that seems to have a lot of injuries. Look at the injuries at Spurs these days. Yeah, Spurs' injuries is mental. Absolutely mental. Endo is my favourite player right now. His attitude is second to none, even though he's second to Grav. Yeah, Endo is a cult hero as well. Just no. We don't want any players like that.
No Instagram boys.
No Instagram boys, absolutely not. Bradley starts, I think. Backup would be fantastic. I would have said Tavernier from Rangers, but I think Tavernier's 31, I think. But again, same problem as Trent, can't defend. But I think he took too old now. Another decent option, Gusto from Chelsea. No, Gusto. No.
I'd have Kyle Walker-Peters before Gusto.
I would have Kyle Walker-Peters as well.
Or Ola Aina from
Ola Aina, yeah,
he'd be great.
Yeah, I would as well. If you have obviously tuned in late, then obviously you will. If you have been living under a rock, Trent Alexander is set to join Real Madrid at the end of the season. Just came across his stats. So he has played 349 games for Liverpool. Whether or not he plays in any more is another matter. He has 22 goals as a right back, which I think is pretty good. But again, as I was saying, he hasn't really had a sort of a prolific sort of season when it's come to goals. Assists is a different matter. I think he's got the most assists as a right back in Premier League history, which is nuts, to say the very, very least. But I think we've got to say, though, Kev, that let's hope this doesn't get into the players, and just hope it doesn't sort of derail our season, because we are so close to our 20th league title.
I think we're already past that. I think the players are already past it. I think it's going to make no impact whatsoever. I think the announcement will come out, they'll probably, pat him on the back as his teammate and friends or whatever like that. I think some of the Scouse lads will have a pop at him. Some former players might have a pop at him, saying a few things, you just don't kind of leave the club like that. But I think his teammates have to kind of have his back until he's gone. And then when he's gone, they could probably say, what an ass, why did he leave like that? You know what I mean? That kind of way. So that's just the way it's going to be for the rest of the season. So, and it's, it's kind of obvious in that way. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Finch. I'm just going to put a link to Kev's channel in there now. So go and check out Mr. Kev. So there's a link to Spider's channel.
If you're catching me live, you're better off on TikTok, because YouTube is always fairly quiet. There's only about 20 or 30 that pop in there. But on TikTok, I mean, the 2 streams ago, I had 500,000 come through the stream, and then average, I'm at about 50,000 that come through the stream. So it's the best place to kind of get the most interaction with me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so sad to see Caoimhín get sacrificed. I love having an Irishman out there, and he's literally our only world-class player for Ireland. I mean, he's very good.
Finch Irish, is he?
Yes, he is. I think Joe Gomez is inconsistent as cover. Joe Gomez always struck me as a player who was always going to be a sort of a Mr. Versatility, sort of Mr. James Milner almost. But
he took over the mantle from him, didn't he?
Aye, so it's a shame, but I think you've got to say that it's not great. Not great to say the bit. Oops, did you? Not that Bradley is not Irish, but you know what I'm saying.
He's Irish.
You know,
he's
not
Irish.
Not Irish, is he?
Pretty soon they'll get over the fact that it's two different countries. They'll do the same as the rugby, and we'll just have a team.
There's a link to Spider's channel. I will put that in the description.
YouTube is brilliant. There's only a few hundred on there.
So that's 500,000.
Yeah, viewers, not Jesus Christ, not followers. But they came to, yeah. There's a big difference between that. I only average getting a couple of hundred viewers. Like I was only able to go live a few weeks ago for the first time. I had only something like 150 followers because I only just started TikTok, and then it just shot up. I know where I am now, around 3,000 or enough to that or something.
Yeah, mine's at 588,242 at the moment. So I'll hopefully be past 600,000 by the.
Oh, it's all views. Views or followers?
Views.
Oh, just I was supposed to say followers. Just pretty soon you'll be paying me to come on the show. With all that money. Where's the money, Doug? Where's the money?
I wish I was. I wish I was that.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be just great, man, to just make money talking about Liverpool all day, wouldn't it? It'd just be brilliant.
It'd be fantastic. But no, guys, I am going to try and get back into being more consistent. As well, Jack's just messaged me to say, sorry, I couldn't make it tonight. Mr. McKinnon, what are you doing?
He's very busy with the Anfield Index editing stuff.
Good for him.
It is
good for him.
But he's even if we get a show done, it's maybe 11 o'clock at night. It used to be 6 p.m. But now it's set back. So I enjoy the later shows. I hate doing shows like before 10 p.m. normally. No offense to this show, I don't, because sometimes the kids will be awake and you could hear them or whatever like that. Whereas at night time, I can sit there and know that I'm off the booze for a while. I used to be able to sit there with a beer and just relax and just talk about football, and then just call out Muppets when they're talking absolute wham about transfers, and then just enjoy the actual banter back from it, which is great. So it's the best. This is the best. This could be the best job in the world, lads. If you could do it,
Yeah. What will Trent's? What will your memories of Trent be when he leaves? Obviously, corner taking quickly, I think, is the safest one to go for. But for me, it's probably his debut at Old Trafford. I mean, a big game to make sort of your Premier League debut in. But fair play to Jurgen Klopp, he brought him on at Old Trafford, and I've got to say, I thought he did very, very well on his debut, and then. Obviously, ever so slightly, we've obviously seen him sort of being moved into the sort of the hybrid role. But some of the goals he scored, can remember the one at Chelsea in the title-winning season in 2019-2020. The one against Fulham where it goes under the underside of the bar and then goes off Bernd Leno. Which, look, I know this is the dubious goals panel, but that should have been Trent's goal.
That's not an own goal.
Never an own goal. But obviously, if it comes off the bar and obviously off the keeper, then you can understand that. And then obviously the one where he hits the winner, as well. Can you think of any others? I mean, I'm kind of struggling at the moment.
Some late, it's the late winners against Southampton when struggling. The curl ball into the opposite side was one that always stood out for me. When we kind of needed that goal badly. There's a few. It's just he's assisted mainly down to most of his assists, not really goals, but like his assist from Mo Salah. I think it was against Bournemouth with the header. I got the ball rolling there. Some fantastic, some great assists to Gakpo.
His goal at City.
Yeah. There's a lot really, and some like he's. Notorious block against was it Bernardo Silva, was it David Silva at the time, and we ended up going up the other side. It was 3-1 game for us against City, and somebody tried to show handball where his hand was on the floor, and then down the side, and then we immediately went up the other side, and it was
that was Fabinho, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Fabinho strike, yeah. So there's that one too. These little moments where he put his body in the way. It's just that I didn't see that, and this is my upsetness with him. I haven't seen that from him in the last season or so. He's taking a back burner. He hasn't thrown his body on the line. He's not jogging back. He's not tracking back. The attitude is not there. His head is constantly down. It used to be always about the banter on the pitch, or even the bravado, stepping up and having a fight or whatever, and trying to be the hammer. I've seen none of that. Absolutely none. I've seen a dude protecting his assets and his legs and his body, and just kind of like ticking down the clock. And you hate to see that, especially out of a fella that could have been the Liverpool legend, you know.
Yeah, he could have been. Yeah, he could have been. Oops. Finn says, lads, dropping big numbers, flex name easy boys. Yes, I am Irish Kev. Tallaght boy.
I don't really flex. I'm just delighted that I got something like that, because the majority of the time it's just been picking up. But that was just like boom. Whatever. I forget what game it was actually. There was a couple of games back. But I never seen those numbers when I was trying to do it on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. But TikTok is taking off. Thank goodness. And there's good skins over there.
Yeah, that corner taken quickly literally won us the Champions League that year. He took the corner and found Origi, put us 4-3 up in aggregate. I'll always remember that.
That's probably the most important moment in the Liverpool shirt. That's the only way I can, it'll be remembered for that. Bernardo Silva, so I was later,
I'll be honest, handball, but Silva also handball, but so in my opinion, have a pen there.
Yeah, it was hand to hand. That's what happened. The two boys handball, they had to be just let go, because both of them were like, actually Silva's was higher up. So if anything, it would have been a free the other way with an advantage.
Finch, it wasn't.
Played the ball for the boys for Emre Can.
It was Lucas Leiva.
It would have been. Yeah, because he was
Lucas.
He was in that hybrid position when he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Lucas Leiva. Another fan favourite.
Emre, we say it's Chan, but it's Chun. Emre, his last goal for Liverpool. That was.
Yeah, and then he decided to be a snake and go to bloody was Juventus.
So I don't care about these players. They were never good enough for the shirt anyway. You back them when they're in the shirt on the pitch, but really you want the best kind of quality that you can get in there. So
yeah, Finch, he was a legend. Lucas Leiva was.
I love Lucas, man. He got slated at the start by so many people, but when Rafa was a bit of a genius putting him back into that number 6 role, and I don't think anybody played harder for the shirt. We just lost D.D. Hamann and all that as well.
Consistent Mags FC. Hello. Nice to see you in the chat, guys. Obviously, as I said, if you are new to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, and also hit the subscribe button on Kev's channel. I have put it in the chat, so yeah, go over and check Kev out as well. But I suppose, what will the bad things be now that he's leaving? I mean, we've obviously spoken about the, obviously him tarnishing his legacy, etc. As well. But I think when we look back on Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's just another sort of name that's going to be coming and going, unfortunately. But as I said, as of the start, we've seen Torres leave, we've seen Suarez leave, we've seen Coutinho leave. We've seen so many players leave the football club, and the club will survive without these players. When Salah and BVD eventually go, Liverpool Football Club will still be there. And I think as well, there's obviously a couple of comments earlier saying that, historic season. A wise man said, and rest in peace, Bill Shankly, but the Premier League is our bread and butter. And that has always been the case. All season for me, it's been the Premier League, and if anything else we get is an absolute bonus. So, the fact that we're about to, get, we're 5 wins away from the Premier League title. I read as well, if Arsenal do match us game by game, I think the latest we could win is Chelsea away, and I know that's been moved to a Sunday.
I said we win it from November since last end of October, start of November, and Jack's channel. I said we'll win it by Spurs. I said
by Spurs.
I said we can win it by Spurs. I said because Arsenal, they tend to have those iffy results, around that. They haven't. They had him earlier. We normally have him kind of around. It's either we have a brilliant December or a shit December, and then it kind of carries over into January or some of it. Happened this year where we were okay in December, but it went to January, and then we were just like drawn with United and and teams we shouldn't have been drawn with at the time. But yeah, Arsenal still have those moments in them. They have no goals scored. They can't score goals. You know, they turn around and just say, "Oh yeah, they were brilliant against PSV," but PSV that beat our kids and call a spade a spade. It was kids. It was all kids. They went on from that game and hadn't won a game for 10 games. They were getting destroyed every game for 10 games. So that they were just in there.
I can also guarantee you as well that they will rush Saka back. You can guarantee it. You can guarantee now Saka will get rushed back. I honestly think Saka could be finished by 28 years old because he's had to have his whole hamstring put back into place because he torn the other one. And he torn it so badly that he's had to have it like medically repaired as well. And the thing is, big injuries like that may not come back the same player.
No. Yeah. Even when you were saying earlier there, Doug, about people leaving, I wasn't as heartbroken as a lot of people were when Torres left. I love the idea of Torres and what he was about. I wasn't at the time because Torres did nothing for us for 18 months. He was so injury prone before he left that I thought when we got 15 million from him, I thought that's great. And then at the time, I didn't even think it was a bad deal getting Andy Carroll in because he was flying for Newcastle at that time. So, it was a no-brainer really to kind of get which probably was the top striker at the time in the country that, he demolished us a few times that he played against us. And then get Luis Suarez in on top of that for the same money. That was, it was pure genius. But look, even on top of that, I was more upset with Luis Suarez leaving because of the fact that he tried to leave the season before he did. He didn't want to be at Liverpool. He wanted to go when Arsenal were bidding the 40 million and £1 thing. He was saying, "Oh yeah, let me join Arsenal." Then I'm just like, this is a guy just clearly doesn't care about Liverpool. He likes playing in the club and the fan base, but he just doesn't like playing for the club. And you kind of see that after he left, he went to Barcelona, and we never really see until Liverpool played him in the Champions League semi-final that time, and he had to do an interview. You don't see him back. I think he's been to the training ground twice since then. In all these years, there was a lot of other people who come back all the time. Torres comes back quite a bit. Luis Garcia is always there. All of these kind of guys come back, but he doesn't because, that kind of way. But then Coutinho messed up his own legacy by, faking the back injury, trying to get him at a point when Liverpool were going to be absolutely dominant. If he stayed around, I think we would have been on par with City for for that season definitely, and for the rest of the seasons. Leaving at the time that he did was disgraceful in my opinion. To get out, so that's why he was done and spent, and Klopp was dead right about him.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Kev, what game are you getting to stream on Twitch? Also, who do you get at left wing if Diaz goes?
Well, we have Gakpo there, but if we have a left winger,
I can guarantee Anthony Gordon gets linked to game, but again, I don't think we get Gordon.
No.
Difficult one because I think Diaz, Jota, and Nunes will be gone. I think it's going to be a clear from the forward line, and I think maybe Salah.
Quite like your man from Dortmund. I think he could play out there, but
what's his name?
Oh my God! What is his name?
Bino Gittins?
No, the guy with the fraud. He plays in the middle of the park. He can play out left. What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
What is going? Yeah, this is like hay fever central with me tonight, lads.
I'm sure someone in the chat will remember. This Premier League title will be more special because the fans will be in the grounds. Yeah, 100%. And also, we couldn't celebrate in 2020. We obviously had to wait for a parade in 2022 as well. Consistent Max FC says, my view is on Trent is he can go to Madrid. He's won everything with LSE. There will still be another great right back in Bradley. Yeah, I think he's going to be great. 5 wins, assuming Arsenal go 9. That ain't happening. Which ain't happening. We probably need 11 or 12 more points, is my guess. Well, Arsenal have got Fulham at home, Everton away. That will be easy because we've got Everton on the Wednesday.
We swap fixtures over those 2 weeks. We get Everton, they get Fulham, then we get Fulham and they get Everton.
Yeah,
the following week. So, and Fulham are kind of a bit iffy at the moment. They're just kind of safe. Fulham get safe and then they don't do anything else after that. They kind of relax after. Adeyemi is the guy I was thinking of, and at Dortmund.
Oh yeah, Adeyemi.
He'd be great, like, you know, to come in.
He is cracking. This year, Andrew was basically a carbon copy of that 90-20 season, knocked out of every cup. Running away with the league, I do agree that this one is more special. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine the season we went against Tottenham. We've already beaten them 4.
It's just because you get a guard of honour against Chelsea, again. Then you get the last one is always them, and then you get one against Brighton. Then you get one against Arsenal, and you get one against Palace for the last 2 home games. I'm more for those games as well, actually. So there'll be definitely no watch-alongs for me. There'll be a lot of jumping in the stands in my seats.
I'm gonna try and go for the last game of the season, even though if I don't get a ticket, I'll be like a pub elsewhere.
I do have a spare hospitality ticket for West Ham on our tickets, so if somebody's stuck, let me know. But they are hospitality, obviously, so they're expensive.
So sorry, Olivia. Just seen your comment there. If we were getting Gordon, we could have gone. Would have gone last summer. Yeah, this could also mean Kaiser gets more game time. Yeah, 100%. And anyone remembers R9 injury after a long layoff Inter? Saka gotta be careful. Yeah, 100%. Just 100%.
Even at that. Oh, sorry, Quinn.
Sorry, Fulham and Everton will have a lot to say the next few weeks. Yeah, they certainly will. Kev, you're talking about Karim Adeyemi. There we go. And
that's it. There you go. The hair fever just because I was looking at his face, I was looking at his hair, I was looking at everything, and for some reason I kept saying your man's name that was the ex-Liverpool player in my head. And I say, why is that in my head? It's not his name. And then I didn't want to say it out until I got it right. So yeah.
Andrew Quinn says, would you just take Seško? Or do you think he still needs development for RB Leipzig? Also, we usually be going to the parade. I'm going to try and do my very best to get down there, Andrew.
I'll be at the parade. We're booked in from, I think, the Saturday night until some of the lads are there from Tuesday morning. I'm flying out late Monday night, but I might change that to the Tuesday afternoon. I don't know yet. We'll see. Because I was thinking, my band is playing in Munich, for the start of June. So I was actually going to go to Munich. I had a place to stay, everything. I had my own tickets that I was guaranteed because of my hospitality tickets. I'm guaranteed three final tickets as long as the stadium is over 53,000 seats. And then and then I would have stayed with the lads. I would have gone to there. But then I have a buddy who's working in Munich that he comes over. So after he works in Munich itself, and he would have get me another handful of tickets as well for the final if we got there that time, as long as we were playing Bayern Munich, which was a possibility.
Oh.
So
I like the thinking. How much is a hospitality ticket?
For our 3, it's 21,000 a year for the 3 tickets. Oh, for the 1 seat, about €350 minimum, I'd say, around that. It's free drink, free food, meeting a Liverpool legend, lounge access. There's all foosball tables. You get free prosecco. The food is endless. Padded seats, free match day program. And it's a premium view. The view is fantastic. So yeah, and it's in the new Anfield Road stand as well, which is great. So.
Oh, it's fantastic. I was there for Fulham, and then for the Newcastle game, I was in the main stand, like the upper main stand. Yeah. Oh my days! I mean the
night and day.
The view you get from both seats is fantastic. But I think 1 hour and 19 minutes. It's been a very, very good wee show. We've obviously spoken about Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've obviously talking about the right back options as well. And let's just say this as well. I will say this now. Liverpool will be absolutely fine. We'll be absolutely fine. The club survives without Trent. We'll be absolutely fine. We've got Conor Bradley to come in, and then we'll see who obviously.
Trying a fantasy take. 50 million plus Jota, Nunez, Isak, and Gordon come the other way. That's only a fantasy take. I'd never see it, but I just think because Newcastle were interested in Jota 2 seasons ago, they're going to, if they do lose Isak, they're going to be desperate for a striker. And You know, we know that Darwin Núñez can get in great positions. He's just not scoring for Liverpool because he doesn't suit our style of play. Like he doesn't like to play with like a real false nine. He acts like a false nine on the slot, but he likes having the forwards just staying up there and just saying like, look, we'll see at the end when the ball gets to you. You know, but Núñez likes to get involved, and then he's not really in the position to score, or he's overworked a bit. So there's a lot that Núñez just doesn't suit the team with. But then you go back to Benfica, and he's scoring 39 goals, 37 goals, then 25 the season before. You know, it's nuts. So yeah.
Finn just saying, is it still possible West Ham is a trophy game?
Yeah, it is.
Only I think if Arsenal lose their next 3. I think
they only have to lose 1 and draw 1, maybe, or something like that. As long as if we have 15 points clear by the time we beat Spurs, we win it there. If we're already 15 points clear by the time we beat West Ham and Arsenal have lost, have had those results, we win the league. Yeah. So
yeah, I think so. That is probably what I will have to do when I finally make a trip to Anfield from the States. Spencer, I'm sure you'll get a ticket. Any recommendations?
Just get on to me, Spencer, or through Doug or something like that, because I was at 19 games last season, home and away. West Ham was the game I was at the most last season. I did the 2 cup games and I did the away game as well last season. But no, if I'm ever going there, there's always tickets there. The problem is depends on the game really, but it's not, you're not, man, if I had face value tickets, I'd be giving face value tickets to people, but my face value for my ticket is about 479 to 529 euro, but I just tried to sell it for what the club charges me when I went in Mac going, which is 350 to 4, whatever it is that way. So, because I don't want to charge people, I don't want to make money off it. I just want my seat paid for.
Really. Andrew says, any recommendations on Sunday for me for my birthday on Sunday? Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday for Sunday. Any place in Liverpool I should go?
The new Reds bar is supposed to be lovely.
Yes. We were going to try that chicken place, weren't we?
Yeah. What's it called? Hang on. I'm going to look that, lads. I'm going to give it a shout out because apparently it's phenomenal. So it's Frats or something. Oh yeah.
They've opened a new Popeye in Edinburgh.
The Nashville Chuck is what it's called.
Nashville Chuck. So there's a wee recommendation.
The Nashville Cluck. My bad.
Nashville Cluck.
It makes more sense.
Okay. Olivia says, take care, Douglas. Thank you very much. Finch says, thanks, guys. Nice to meet you, Kev. I subbed and will watch your stuff on Anfield Road. Enjoy the rest of your night.
No hassle.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, thank you, Finch.
And anybody come on in the debate me, call me out any time, and then I'll prove you that I'm not I'm not just saying waffle. I'll give you reasons behind why I say the stuff that I say.
Yeah, absolutely. But Kev, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I really appreciate it. I know your channel link is not in the description, but it will be after the stream has ended. But tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me for football related stuff at Spider LFC pretty much everywhere. And for gaming, and some of the channels are the same, but for gaming stuff, you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy or just Spider. As I own Spider on Facebook and TikTok. I own the name on that as well. So the individual name Spider, and then the rest is Irish Spider Guy. You'll find me YouTube and Twitch. So
yeah, absolutely. Take care all as well. And last comment of the night. Hello. We are just heading. Just heading out as well. But no, thank you everyone who's tuned in this evening. Really do appreciate it, and also. Please do remember to hit that subscribe button. Please do remember to hit that like button as well. And also, I think it's Thursday. I'll be back live. We're going to be discussing, obviously, Scotland's Nations League defeat. We'll be discussing that and whether Steve Clarke should go. That should be feisty because I have Reece on for that as well. So, please do. Please do keep an eye out on that. But and obviously any socials as well, please do keep an eye out as well. There will also be an Everton preview. We'll have Tom from Greece. We'll have him on at some point.
Not the player, but the country.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But like I've got to say, you're obviously more than welcome to come on any of streams as well. I'll get to. Let's just say I'll get the crew on. I will definitely get the crew on as well. Great stream, guys. Thank you, Stephen. As well. But yeah, as I said, hit the like button,
hit the subscribe button, and also let us know your thoughts about obviously Trent leaving as well. But from myself and Kev, it is good night, and you never walk alone. Cheers, Reds.
See you, lads.